Modern Warfare 3 is here, and with it comes lots of small but impactful changes. So to make sure you can stay at the top of your game, here are 13 mw3 tips to help you dominate in every single match. Okay, so for the first few tips, we're going to need to jump into settings. In modern CODs, this can be a little overwhelming, so let's simplify it and only focus on the most impactful ones, starting with FOV. Now, while in the recent MW2, you could get away with a lower FOV due to the slower movement, with slide cancelling returning in this entry, we're going to want to make a few changes. I recommend for most players playing between 95 to 115 FOV. I see a lot of players who feel compelled to play on 120 like a lot of their favorite streamers, but that could be detrimental if you happen to play on a TV or sit further away from your screen, as you don't want the enemies to look like ants. But with that being said, FOV is vastly personal preference. This additional FOV setting on the other hand isn't. You are going to want to set your ADS field of view to affected, as when you ADS you don't want to be stuck on 80 FOV. Affected will make your ADS field of view the same as your standard one, in turn lowering your visual recoil and helping you not get cameraed in close quarters combat. On the topic of visual settings, there is motion blur. I see all too often people leaving both world and weapon motion blur on, but it's only damaging to your performance in any given match. So unless you're trying to play like you're in a montage 24/7, turn motion blur off and make enemy visibility a little bit easier. That being said, if you do want to take your enemy visibility to that next level and make your game look better in the process, we need to take a look at color customization. Go into your interface settings and locate the color customization tab. In there you will see two main sections, interface colors and color filter settings. To make the map look more vibrant, you want to set the color filter target to world, and then try each option to see which one you think looks the best on your setup. I recommend filter 2, but compare for yourself. And to help your enemies stand out more, you want to find enemies on the HUD color palette and change it to something that stands out more to you. Yellow and purple are good options if you aren't a fan of the traditional red, but feel free to experiment to see what stands out the most on your setup. Do you ever wonder how top players are able to predict their enemies so easily? Well, one of the most important tools you have is your HUD, but more specifically your minimap. And with unsuppressed fire appearing on the minimap again in MW3, you're going to want to be looking at it a lot. To help with this, you're going to want to go into your settings and find the safe area. Once you've found it, shrink it as much as you can. This essentially moves the borders of your HUD towards the center of your screen, meaning your eyes don't have to travel as far between your crosshairs and the minimap, allowing your eyes to dart between both 24/7, helping you increase your awareness in any given match. Tip 5 is utilizing your minimap. Now that it's easier to quickly glance at, let's make sure we're getting all the information we possibly can out of that little square in the top left. As I mentioned, with this game they've added red dots back to the minimap when firing an unsuppressed weapon, which allows for free pre-aims if you keep your eyes on the prize. If you can help it, I would suggest a 70-30 split, meaning you're looking at your minimap around 65 to 70% of the time. This is what nature has to say on the matter.
How much of your time do you think was spent looking at the minimap?
70% of the time, if not higher. The minimap is everything. It informs every decision you make. Minimap's really, it's crucial.
But there are more nuanced ways of using it as well. Even if there is no immediate information, make sure to look at where your teammates are positioned and where they are spawning, as this allows you to predict enemy spawns and find possible gaps in the enemy setup. This is made really simple by just looking for the negative space on the minimap and strategically rotating through the common hotspots on any given map. It's also important to note that if you ever see an arrow above or below a red dot on the minimap, it's telling you whether that enemy is one level above or below you, which can be really useful on maps like Favela that have a lot of rooms with different height elevations. That being said, all of this about the minimap brings me to my next tip. Run a suppressor. There's no shame in it. With any new game, it will take time to learn the weapons and find your flow. So if you feel scared firing a gun with the added red dots, then throw on a suppressor and hit a quick flank. The enemies will never see it coming. And if you want to take that flanking playstyle to the next level, be sure to throw on Dead Silence, in this game known as sneakers in the boot slot, as this will allow you to be ultra stealthy on the map. This tip is pretty self-explanatory, but it feels like a cheat code in this game, as players have gotten very used to using their ears as their main form of awareness, so taking it away from them allows for a lot of free kills even in sweatier lobbies. I mean, damn. Speaking of perks, while you're in the creator class menu, there is one more thing you should change. Kill streaks. More importantly, that little toggle that allows you to transform them into score streaks. By default, you will only progress towards your prize streaks by getting a kill, but by going into your creator class menu and flipping this switch, now both assists and objective captures will help you with earning your score streaks without any real downsides. I mean really, unless you only play free-for-all, just change this one setting. It will consistently help you get more streaks and more kills for less than 5 seconds of work. Something that will take slightly longer than 5 seconds but is hugely useful is looking at your perks. In MW3 they have been split into vests, gloves, boots and gear, with vests being an extra powerful perk that plays a large role in what playstyle you want your class setup to be built around. The rest of the setup is essentially the normal perk system, with the boot slot being the most powerful in the game's current state. One of the best all-round perk combinations I've been using is the infantry vest combined with the gloves that allow me to reload while sprinting, tactical pads for better movement, and EOD padding to help protect me against grenade spam. That being said, feel free to experiment as this perk system allows for a lot more playstyle variety than in recent years. This next tip is also related to tactical pads, but more specifically how powerful they can be while slide cancelling. Let's face it, this game can be fast, very fast, so to make sure you can keep up, let's make sure you are slide cancelling correctly. There are two main ways to slide cancel in this game, those being slide jump, or the traditional slide jump. Now I find it useful to mix both of these in, with slide jump being preferred for a long slide, and slide jump being used for a shorter and snappier slide cancel. But feel free to pick your poison with this one. That being said, how do tactical pads come into all of this? Well, tactical pads make your movement transition speed feel smoother, but more importantly, give you the ability to ADS while sliding. While without the boots, you will want to make sure you ADS as you end your slide cancel to make sure you don't get stuck in tac stance. With the boots equipped, it's a different story, as you can make yourself a moving target while having pinpoint accuracy. But talking about pinpoint accuracy is one thing, achieving it is another. And with this game having a longer TTK with 150 health, you need to hit your shots, and nothing makes that easier than aim assist. I mean really, my next tip is learning how to abuse your aim assist. In COD there are two types of aim assist. Aim assist slowdown and rotational aim assist. Aim assist slowdown is active all the time, but rotational aim assist is only active when you move your left analog stick. So make it a habit to strafe left and right in every single gunfight. This both makes you a harder target to hit, while allowing you to land more shots. To make sure it's working for you, go into your controller settings, turn target assist on, and make sure your aim assist type is set to standard or black ops, as these are the only two variations that have that ever so strong rotational aim assist. But there is one more hidden setting that can make aim assist even easier to abuse, and to find it we have to go to our dead zones. Since Cold War there has been both an inner and outer dead zone threshold, and by lowering your left stick max input dead zone to anywhere from 0.8 to 0.5 like you see on screen, you won't have to move your analog stick as much to get a full range of motion, meaning faster strafes and more aim assist 24/7 without having to do any extra work. And for the cherry on top, if you want a bit of added placebo to go on top of all of it, set your aim response curve to dynamic, allowing you to track your opponents even easier. And hey, if you are still struggling with your aim, I have a full aim guide linked below. Tip 12 is play your life. When you do start improving and getting more kills, it could be easy to tunnel vision on your next possible elimination. But if you're not careful, this can lead to you throwing your life away and challenging gunfights that you stand no chance to win. Remember, it's okay to disengage when a gunfight isn't going your way, or to just generally start playing slower when you go on a longer streak. Just think about it like this. The longer you stay alive, the more possible kills you can get, so don't feel afraid to disengage and reposition in a losing gunfight. We've made it to the end. The final tip, tip 13. Learn your jump spots. It's pretty basic, but in the background you may have seen some that I use on a game-to-game basis. I know it's obvious, but these maps are full of great jump spots, and with the new movement mechanics you can really take your finesse to that next level. And hey, if you got at least one thing out of this video, feel free to drop a like so I can make more videos like this one. And be sure to let me know what you think of MW3 so far in the comments below. Thanks for watching.